Hello students and welcome back to the first lesson. Hope all of you understood the adaptation in animals of snowy regions, adaptation in aerial animals and adaptation in reptiles. Now today we'll learn about adaptation for food in animals, adaptation for blending with the surroundings and Darwin's theory of evolution. So let's start with the adaptation for food in animals. Students, as we know that the different ways how animals adapted themselves for food, we can categorize animals as herbivores and carnivores. Means animals like the cow, goat, horse, etc. are herbivorous animals. That is, they feed only on grass and plants. Whereas animals like the lion, tiger are carnivorous animals. Carnivores means flesh-eating animals. That is, they feed on other animals for their food. Animals like frog use their tongue to have food. The butterfly sucks nectar from the flowers. Snake eats the whole animal. Whereas the birds have adapted themselves to pick up food with the help of their beak. So, in this way, animals are adapted for food. Okay students, hope you are clear with the adaptation for food in animals. We will discuss this in greater detail in the chapter on nutrition. Now, let's understand how animals are able to adapt themselves by blending with the surroundings. Here, blending means mix up. Now look at the all pictures. It is very difficult to spot some of the animals in their natural habitat. The animals like butterfly, lizard, grasshopper get camouflaged. Here, camouflage means to hide among the grasses, parts of plants like stems, leaves, flowers, etc. Their color or skin blend with the surroundings, so they look so similar to the surroundings, and because of this, it is very difficult to spot them. Now, let's see what is actual adaptation. Changes that takes place in the various organs and life processes of organisms. Now, various organs means the changes that occurs in various parts of the body as well as the life processes of organisms. Means the way that they live, the way that they eat their food, how they have changed themselves to be able to survive in the surroundings that they live. How they are able to protect themselves from the predators. So all this enable. Enable means to make them able to live, to feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves. Now here perpetuate means to make eternal or everlasting, and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surroundings depending upon the habitat and its geographical conditions are called adaptations. Now, always remember students, adaptation is not a sudden process. It is gradual and continuous. Means it takes many years for the changes to be seen in the animals or plants. Differences in the structure and appearance of present-day animals and animals of thousands of years ago are the adaptations that occurred according to prevailing conditions. Prevailing means generally accepted. Now students, if you look at the picture, you will find that the present-day elephant have evolved themselves from the elephants that you found many years ago. So, it is our moral duty to conserve the environment and thus conserve this diversity. Now students, let's understand the Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin was a first biologist who put forward the theory of evolution. Now, let's understand Darwin's first principle. Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals. That is, he did study of thousands of animals and plants, and then he came to the conclusion and suggested that only those organisms are likely to survive which can best adapt themselves to a changing environment. Means the animals, those who can change according to changing environment, are able to survive. So this is called the theory of survival of the fittest, and this is Darwin's first principle. For example, dinosaurs were not able to survive and thus they are extinct. Extinct means no longer in existence. Now Charles Darwin put forth the second principle, that is of natural selection. According to him, if an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristic and is able to survive, this change is preserved in the next generation. That is, they themselves transfer this change to the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and is called the theory of natural selection. Okay students, hope you all understood whatever we have studied today, right? In the next lecture, we'll learn about classification of living organisms and binomial nomenclature. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you everyone.